Hello, and welcome to day 12 of Content Marketing Mastery. This is the final lesson, and in many ways, this is the most important lesson of the entire series. My partner and one of my heroes, Brian Clark, the founder of Copyblogger, has a phrase that he signs off all of his podcasts and all of his newsletters with. And this phrase is very simple. It's two words. This phrase is keep going. This idea of keep going really is the difference between business owners who end up achieving wild success and business owners that just kind of make it, maybe never really get to the point where they want to, or most likely never have any success at all. And the reason is because if you keep going over the course of months and years, you allow compounding to kick in. Compounding really is what you need in order for your business to go from linear growth to exponential growth, to where it shoots up in your revenue numbers and your profits and your traffic and your subscribers, when all of it starts to grow at an exponential rate. There's a famous quote by Albert Einstein. He says, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it." This is such an important quote to memorize and to keep in the front of your mind as you're building your business, because there's going to be times where it feels like you're not getting anywhere. There's going to be times where it feels like you're working and you're not seeing any growth, and that's okay. Your growth isn't going to be linear. Your growth is going to be exponential. In almost every case of all of the successful people I know and look up to, what made them successful was that they were willing to stick with the process long enough to let compounding kick in. So in today's case study, we're just going to look at two really simple charts. We're going to look at two ideas and two visualizations that show the power of compounding, and it's going to show why consistency over a long period of time truly is the X factor that's going to allow your business to achieve the kind of success that you dream of. All right, let's take a deeper look. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with this chart. This chart is a visualization of a 1% better concept, which was really made famous by James Clear and his book, Atomic Habits. In this chart, what you're noticing is the power of getting 1% better every day. And we're also comparing that to the power, or really I should say the lack of the power, of getting 1% worse every day. So what this chart should tell you, and what you should be able to understand from this chart, is that declining in your business and not seeing significant growth really isn't that big of a deal. Even if things are going well, the math simply works out that when things are going bad, they don't go bad as fast as good things get good. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's really important to understand. So this happens to me plenty of times. I'll go a week, 2 weeks, maybe I'm posting the best content. My email subscribers aren't growing as fast as I want them to. I start to get a little bit down on myself. But inevitably, with consistency, you're always going to get to that exponential growth. And the reason is because 1% better every day stacks on top of itself so quickly. So you can see this is the rate of decline over the course of 1 year if you get 1% worse every day. And this is the rate of growth over the course of 1 year if you get 1% better every day. All you need to do every single day is just get 1% better than the day before. In fact, I would argue that a year really is a very quick timeline to try to grow an extremely successful business. If you get 0.5% better every day and you spread this growth trajectory over the course of 2 years, you're still inevitably going to hit this point where the exponential growth just starts to spike straight up. So when you look at this chart should give you hope. It should give you determination, and it should also take the pressure off a little bit, because you don't have to generate your success overnight. In fact, it's very improbable that you're going to. You're going to generate your success from the consistent 1% better improvements that happen day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. All right, let's look at one more chart, which I think highlights this picture very well. And finally, this is a chart that was created by a friend of mine. His name is Jack Butcher. And in this chart, this highlights the journey that most entrepreneurs, especially creative entrepreneurs, follow. Right here, this is a timeline going from left to left, and you can see no growth, no growth, no growth, hardly any growth, no growth. It's stagnant. The rate of growth is very, very stagnant. And this is the case for most people. This is the case for most businesses. This is the case for anything. If you ever want to achieve something in life, you're always going to be trudging through the mud, let's call it, for the majority of the time. However, when you get right here, I love how he has these quotes where it says, "This is pointless," because this is always where people give up. In Seth Godin's book, he calls this the dip, right? This is when people start to have that rate of decline, and they really start to get down on themselves, and they don't give themselves the opportunity to actually see this exponential growth. In Think and Grow Rich, this is the story about the gold miner stopping 3 feet from gold. Most people stop 3 feet from gold, and you can't let that be you. You have to keep going, because inevitably you're going to push past this point of frustration where you're going to think that everything is pointless, and then your growth is going to double, and then it's going to double again, and then it might grow by 20%, 30%, 40%, until inevitably that exponential growth curve kicks in, that parabolic growth curve, and then all of your success is going to be generated all at once. I can't highlight how important this is enough. Almost every time, all of the successful people I know, they stuck it out long enough for compounding to truly kick in. Warren Buffett is the best investor of all time because he stuck around long enough for compounding to kick in. You can look at dozens and dozens of case studies, and this is a pattern that happens many, many times, over and over and over again. The rate of growth for the majority of the time is going to be very, very stagnant. And then all of a sudden, the rate of growth is going to spike up once compounding takes effect. So to say one last time, keep going. And that concludes Content Marketing Mastery. I hope you learned so much from this introductory course, and I hope you're ready to implement these tactics and these strategies into your own business. Now, of course, you still have a lot of places to go from here. You have access to all of the events. Some of the events include presentations from your coaches, me and Steph. Some of the events include masterclass presentations from some of the most successful online entrepreneurs in the world today. And of course, you're going to have access to your coaching sessions where you can interact with me directly, and I will answer your questions. I will coach you on some of the problems that you're having with your business. I encourage you to get involved in the community. Leave comments, interact with other members. We're building a community here of support and help and encouragement. So I am excited to work with you, and I will see you in the community.